Hello guys, and welcome back to Original History. Last video we went over how World War I started. Today we will see what the plan of action was for the two sides of the war. Then we'll finally start the actual war and see how Britain eventually declared war on Germany. While we're on that topic of Britain declaring war on Germany, yes, in our last video you may have noticed that Britain never declared war on Germany. Britain was only sort of allies with France and really didn't want to get into a war just because of a small little alliance, so they weren't ready to declare war on Germany yet. But this is some foreshadowing. They were ready to if something happened. So let's continue until the war actually starts. Okay. So, before we get on to the plan, I just want to explain mobilization very, 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 very simply. So, the bigger a country is, the more spread out the people living in it usually are. Like, the farther away the cities are, the bigger a country is. So, the places where most of the soldiers live are further away, and thus it will take longer for all the soldiers to come together, join into their ranks, and do that. So logically, the bigger Russia will take longer to get all of its soldiers ready than the smaller France, Germany, Austria, Hungary, Serbia. So, because that's very important to the German plan. Okay, so as I just said, Russia will take longer to get all of their soldiers ready. And Germany, before Germany became a country, because at this point Germany is a very new country, as I mentioned in our first video. I mentioned it very briefly, but Germany is a very new country. But the precursor to Germany, Prussia, people often get it confused with Russia. People who don't know a lot about history and they're just hearing the name for the first time, they're like, oh, is that a part of Russia? But no, Prussia is Germany. So Prussia had defeated France in many wars. So basically, Germany was ready to crush France. It didn't really see any chance of a French victory. So their plan, before the war even started, before anything like this happened, when, as I explained, everybody wanted a war, everybody wanted to beat each other up, but nobody was ready to. There was no reason to go to war yet. Besides that, everyone wanted to beat each other up, and you're not just gonna attack a country for no reason and have so many people die. So what they decided to do is, their plan is that they're gonna send their soldiers very quickly into France, defeat France so quickly that Britain is like, you know what, I don't want to really declare war on you anymore, so Britain will stay out of it for just long enough for Germany to turn around and attack Russia. Then Britain will be like, I don't want there to be a superpower, I might declare war, but by that point it's too late, and Britain it will be a stalemate, because back then the technology to do something like D-Day, like land into France from England, was just impossible if there's so many defenses. So basically, Britain would just get stuck there, having no way to attack Germany, and Germany would be stuck there having very few ways to attack Britain, and then it would just result in many, many deaths until either Britain surrendered or Germany won. So that's a brilliant German plan. But, as I mentioned, this is an extremely obvious plan. You could probably figure it out after I mentioned that Russia would take a while to get all their troops. Attack France, destroy France, attack Russia, destroy Russia. Very simple. Step 1, step 2. So, this being such an obvious plan, the French come up with a counter to this. So remember, we're still working long before the war starts. They built a bunch of forts, like defenses, walls, probably not walls at that point, but like machine gun nests, that type of stuff, like maybe even not machine gun nests yet, but defenses and fortifications along the whole border. So Germany has a counter plan, and a counter plan. They're gonna go around the French fortifications, but if you look at the map, the country that they have to go through is orange. So can they go through an orange country? Yes, but that really risks getting at war with America, not America, England, and then possibly losing, making America not like Germany, because at this point America is not pro-German. They're not going to declare war or anything, but you know how Britain and America at this point, they didn't exactly get along so well. They were better than at the beginning in the Revolutionary War, but they still didn't really get along. So America was like, I kind of want Britain to lose because they are my rival. So, you know what, Germany, go ahead. But if they invade an orange country who didn't do anything to Germany, then it's kind of like America will lose their support and Britain will probably declare war. So those are the two things that they're scared of. So they're like, okay, we're gonna be smart here. What we're going to do is we're going to just go. So that's the counter. The counter plan is that then Britain or America will declare war. So now Germany has to really put their big brain cap on and says, okay, what is the counter plan to this situation? And their counter plan is that they're going to send all of their troops through Belgium, all of their troops through Belgium so quickly that Britain doesn't even have any time to react. They're just going to send their soldiers extremely fast, like a lightning round, that not only can Russia not all get all their soldiers ready, but also England can't even declare war or do anything. Just France is gone, and now Britain is in stalemate, Russia doesn't have their soldiers ready, and Germany has a sizable army going to attack them. Brilliant. And then, so it's just completely perfect, brilliant plan that would work then. Now let's see how this brilliant plan pans out. So basically they send all of their troops to Belgium. But here's the problem. Well, most of their troops to Belgium. But here's the problem. Belgium was expecting this. Belgium was looking at the situation, and Germany was expecting, very obviously, it makes more sense, that Belgium will see a bunch of soldiers coming, and it will say, I don't want trouble, just walk through, it's okay. But instead, Belgium was like, okay, let's fight. So they slow down the German army. I mean, obviously Belgium will lose. There's nothing they can do. But they slow them down for almost 4 weeks. I believe it was 3 weeks and 6 days. Don't quote me on that. So the war started in July, and now it's coming into August. It's like August 15th-ish. So you're looking at this Belgium army halting the German army for a while. So don't quote me on the exact dates. I just know July to August. That's how long it took them. So they start invading in July, and they don't finish this part till August. So now, not only has the German army gone slow enough that Britain can declare war and send troops to help France, they've also taken long enough for Russia to get all of their troops ready. So now, this brilliant plan where every time you're just fighting on one side of the country. First you fight on this side, then you fight on this side, and then you lock that original side in stalemate because they can't attack you, you can attack them, and you win. So that was the brilliant plan. Now they have to fight two sides at once. So if you know anything about wars, fighting on two sides is really something you never want to do. So now Germany is really in a bad situation. But maybe, just maybe, I'm not going to tell you yes or no yet, they might end up having the greatest comeback in military history. Maybe not, maybe. And you'll just have to wait till next time to see how that plays out.